What's up guys, it's David here from EGX2014 on the last day of EGX, and I'm with Elena, and she is with Modern Dream here with LA Cops. First of all, could you just tell us a little bit about what you do in the development of the game?
Sure, so I'm the lead coder in Modern Dream, so we're currently working on LA Cops, as you mentioned.
Awesome. Do you think you could describe your game in 10 words or less?
Oh wow, I have to count the words now. Normally I just say is 70s cop shooter, like with an orthographic camera.
Yeah, that sounded about 10.
Yeah?
That's good. So, LA Cops, what was the influence or idea for the game? Where did that come from?
So it's an art style actually. I should grab this guy, Ollie, because he's the guy that came up with all the art. Can I grab him?
Yeah.
This is Ollie, so he was just asking about where the art style.
Oh right, originally it's a combination of different influences, like David Hockney's Bigger Splash pop art painting from the 60s, and Interstate 76, a previous game, The Button Affair, Another World, kind of fresh, clean, crisp, bright, colourful.
So the art kind of was the basis for the game, and then that kind of the visual, the aesthetic style.
So as the game comes first,
Well, but we love art.
We do.
It was the springboard for the game. Is that
Where's
a
it
good
actually
way
come
to-
from? Like the original, core of the idea. Definitely a correlation of things, like looking at older Amiga games like Cannon Fodder Syndicate, but then how do those correlate with other ideas? And trying to find something that has a bit of something fun about it. That's what we tried to do with LA Cops.
Yeah. So the two character mechanic, that works incredibly well. I really enjoyed playing that. Was that something that you always wanted to implement, or was it something that was added later in development?
No, we definitely want to implement multiple characters because the game is also inspired on Syndicate. Do you remember playing that back in the 80s?
No.
You should check it out because I absolutely love that game, and where you control like a set of 4 characters and you go through missions. So in our first prototype we actually had 4 characters like controlling them, but we thought 2, I think it's a good number to start with.
Yeah, it's a good balance.
Yeah,
so sticking with the characters, it's quite a big cast of characters, and you have free reign to choose 2 in each mission. And I noticed that there's a narrative that flows through the game through cutscenes, but it involves the characters you pick. How did that come about, and how does it work with all the characters but still telling a reasonably linear story?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Looking at TV shows like Cagney and Lacey Starsky and Hutch, being a cop is their job, and it's separated from the story of their lives. They're still human beings, they have their strengths, they have their weaknesses, and that's how it plays out in the game. The story is separated largely from the levels in the game, apart from towards the end where it ties together. We did that deliberately so we can keep expanding and keep doing new and interesting stuff with it.
So what picking,
I was just going to add that it's like there are 2 core stories really in the game, which is how to be like a female cop in the 70s, so how hard that must have been. And it's a bit like what we still have in the games industry, isn't it? It's like there's a lot of talks about being female developers. So I think we wanted to say that as well, to show that sort of story that existed back in the 70s, but in almost like an easier way or funnier way. We always talk a little bit about corruption, in cops. It's like we hear that so often in the news, even nowadays, but in a fun way, I think. So the characters have very characteristics, and as you go along the storyline, you see, you get to know them, and as you play with them, you see the banter between the cops as well. So you get to get a feeling for their personality.
And would you say that you would end up picking certain characters to find out more, and so you end up picking a favourite, maybe sticking with them, but if you want to know more, you would maybe pick a different character?
Yeah, people seem to always have a favourite.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more depth.
Well, mine is Joe. Joe Murphy for me is the best.
Do you have a favourite?
Williams. Loves his donuts. Yeah, likes his donuts.
Nice stereotype to go.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the multiplayer aspect. I don't believe there's currently a multiplayer. Do you have any plans for that? And if you do, will it maybe affect the current mechanic, or will you expand on that?
We're an indie budget basically, and we would have loved to have done multiplayer. We wouldn't have done it unless we could do it properly.
Yeah.
I mean, multiplayer is not easy to pull off at the best of times, but we just felt we weren't going to risk it. We wanted to focus on a really solid single-player game. Having said that, we have been looking at doing like a local multiplayer, like PC you can do mouse and keyboard with 2 joypads, console you can also do one joypad. We haven't written it off. We'll do it if we can. Like if the game does really well, maybe we can do it with DLC. But yeah, it would be really cool. If not this game, certainly what we'll do next.
Would you stick with the 2 players in that case, or would each person have 2 players?
I think it would be definitely 1 player each, 1 character each player.
Yeah. Would we have 4 players? Is that what you mean? Yeah. Not for this one, I don't think, but certainly there's a lot of potential here with the mechanic that we have. You could have a lot of different characters that even have multiplayer where you control more than 1 cop would be interesting as well.
I think it would almost transform the game into a brand new game in a way if you do that. So
it is such a well implemented mechanic that I'm guessing you wouldn't want to risk messing it up. Exactly.
No. I think we would rather have a more polished experience, than having loads of features, to the players and not being really good.
So at the moment, you are. Is it early access?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there any future plans for the game in terms of consoles, or are there any other content you wanted to add that you haven't mentioned so far? Or
yeah. So as you said, we're on early access for PC and Mac right now on Steam, and we've just teamed up with Team 17, who are helping us to get onto PS4, Xbox One, they're supporting us in QA, and supporting us at shows like this. So that's been great as well. So we're just beginning. It's really good.
Yeah, but we also have our iOS version of the game as well, because we started with PC, Mac, iOS as like the core platforms, and we are still carry on doing that one as well.
And I imagine that would work really well with the touchscreen with what you've already got.
We do have a playable of the game, and I think the experience actually, as we developed the PC, it actually became very similar to the experience on the iPad or iPhone. So it's quite cool. I think the game is quite consistent in a way, or it will be. It will feel a bit consistent.
Yeah, awesome. So in terms of EGX, have you managed to get out and play anything else, or have you been stuck at the booth?
We've been doing our best, haven't we? Particularly the Rezzed area, because there's so many good games here now. Like, have you had a chance to look at it?
Well, I went around and I played a bit of Volume. I played Beyond Ice, which is such a pretty game.
Yeah.
I played the dating matchmaking. That was so cool.
I noticed the badge.
Yeah.
I think it's just so bad. I was horrible at dating.
That was really good actually. I was quite good at matchmaking. I was quite proud of myself.
Is there anything you have yet to check out that you maybe want to before the doors close tonight?
We tried to get into Evolve. The queue is just out. We got in early just the other day, but no chance. The queue was
Everyone
already
I've
there.
spoke to from Rez have said that bigger games are hard to get into because of the queues. You don't want to spend that long away from the booth. I think we queued for about 3 hours to get in maybe 2 days ago. So I liked it though. So that was that.
It's funny because I look at the video and it's kind of like seems a lot like you're spamming the alien or the monster. Whereas everyone who plays it says it's not like that. It's like a really intense, interesting game with lots of variations.
There's a lot of build-up to the monster encounter. It's not just fighting the monster.
Which sounds really cool. I think we need a better video.
But thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I've already played the game and I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to playing it more and seeing what is out of the game. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, cheers. So it's on early access now, so I would definitely recommend you go grab that.